My name is Piyushi Sharma
I'm Siddhi Chavan.
and this is episode 3. So we are back with Rizza Miz and today we are covering anti-norm. This was Siddhi's choice. So Siddhi, how did you come across anti-norm?
So I came across this product on ads also, and I've heard about the name through Shark Tank as well, when the founder came in and they got a good deal at Shark
What
Tank.
is it about? What is
So anti-norm is basically a product where it's trying to break the norms, like how it's trying to compete here with the skincare industry and the salon industry as well, and trying to, as the name suggests, that it's trying to fit in over here where it tries to focus on the utility part of it. The main thing is the founder's idea is that they want to break down all the 16 skin routine and the 5 steps, 7 steps into one utility product. So their main USP over here is to break the norms, and that's why the name is anti-norm to get started with. And they have products which they have launched recently, which they are like. So they have launched a lot of products. So it started with the Dry by Blow Dry, which is regarding hair, and now they are coming up with a lot of products which are completely based around utility. So we'll discuss the products in detail, but the whole USP of the founder and the products is that they want to cut down a lot of steps what we do in a normal skincare routine and hair care, and to bring down to one product. So it is good for travel also, and it's good for your time saving part of it as well.
I think this is great for people who don't want to go through the whole process of going to a salon, getting this done. People who are in a rush. So basically, people not like you. So
Not like you, but yes, like we are kind of people who want to give it time as well. Like we
get
want
like a little
massage done. Like we want to go to a facial, give it like a pampering session for us. But the main product over here, what they are claiming to be, is for work savvy people, urban professionals who don't have the time and want to get things done in a very quick and convenience. Like quick commerce, how it's growing is basically reducing all the steps into one product. But let's see how the positioning and the kind of branding and the kind of things they have worked around to communicate that with the audience, to see how it is fitting in the market right now.
Yeah. So let's start with
The
unpacking.
and the branding package.
So now for the package, there's this brown box. It has the logo, which is just a very basic text logo which says anti-norm. They have the website at the bottom. They have tape that's branded, and at the back again they have the name of the brand. They have the tagline, which is the luxury of less. Let me just pull this out. Let's see what's under it. Okay, they have space for a shipping label, and then they have the Instagram ID over here. Okay. Let me stick with it. Okay, my favorite part.
It's gonna take some time.
Take us 1 quick minute.
Be patient.
Our editor is going to fast forward through this.
Piyushi's red nails are matching with the scissors
Yeah.
and the lipstick as well.
I have
That's not your ex-boyfriend's face, but okay, fine.
I don't have any. I'm like Salman
Oops.
Khan. You should put the Salman Khan chip right now. I've never had a girlfriend.
He's claiming that he has a lot of girlfriends, so it's fine. That he's currently not dating.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we got one free merchandise, which is a cap.
Let's open this. I
As
think you should put this on and go with your outfit.
As we both are very much fond of merchandise, so this one when we are ordering,
Says against the norm.
we got one free cap. And I'm fond of caps, so why not?
Oh yeah, it looks so nice.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
I like that. You know, it reminds me of our house color.
You're in Purple House or what?
Oh, this is like so-called Kabraji house and the Taj house in our school.
Lotus House.
Okay, I was in Kohinoor, but this so reminds me of the Kabraji house cap. So yeah.
Can't compete,
Yeah.
bro, with the Sorabji house.
No, sorry. It was the Kohinoor. Okay.
Okay,
Getting
so
back
then-
to the merch over here.
Yeah. So here we have the 2 products. The first one is, this is Bye Bye Blow Dry, and the second one here is Face facial in a flash. I think the packaging is so interesting.
Yeah.
You know, like look at this. First of all, the material that's used. This is thick cardboard.
Thick cardboard,
You know,
yeah.
it's not like that really thick kind of cardboard. It's very flimsy. Second is there is so much copy. Like I think we
Yes.
can really like get into this. So with the copy, right. So for the copy, the first thing for the facial product, right? It says this is not just a scrub, which is a kind of a common theme that they've maintained through all the packaging, where it's this is not just an XYZ.
Yeah.
So you know they talk about how they're disrupting the norm for that one specific product in the market. So even if you look at just the sides, it says this is a tan remover, a deep cleanser, a makeup remover, brightening serum, enzyme clean and skin soother. So it talks about all the different products and it's combining into one. Then we have basic ingredients, customer feedback, and then the last part is directions of usage, and then it again names the 9 products that it's replacing. So it's claiming to take 9 products and combine it into one. Well, how's the other?
So
package?
same thing over here. It's claiming to be in a buy blow dry. Like this particular product is gonna replace the time-consuming blow dry which you have every time, and it's claiming to replace 11 products here. Like the way we have a leave-in conditioner, the dryer, the curling, the heat protectant. So it's claiming to replace all that, and it's given that in this particular boxing, and it's giving the steps also how you should do it. Like you have to brush your hair before you apply it after the shower. So they're being very specific about how to use it so that people know the usage of it and then can give it a try. So the packaging gives a lot of information and it's very similar and it's going against the norms of what people do go for the 7 care, 8 care, skin routine and hair care routine as well. The packaging is really
We're mainly targeting time utility.
yes.
Let's go to it. I love the butter yellow. Oh no, yeah, it's very cute. So they have the name here, again the name of the product here, name of the brand here. It talks about what it does, which is brightens, soothes and hydrates skin. And then they have the QR code on the side.
And this one over here, I see the best thing I like about the product is the light, how lightweight it is, and it's very portable. I would say, like it has to
quite
be
light.
yeah, it has to be traveled. You're going for a tour or like a shoot, you can just take it on. It's not gonna take a lot of weight and space in your bag as well. And they have followed the consistency of the brand throughout and given the usage, and they have a QR code as well. So it quite goes with the brand consistency part. Okay, so moving on to our next section of it, like in your day-to-day life, if you come across this as a customer, where would you like to fit it and how would you fit it? Like, will it be like a regular buy once you start using it, or will it be like a one-time buy when you start?
Personally, I would not. But if I had to, then I think I would go for more of the hair products because hair is such a tricky thing, especially the brand actually does discuss this, on their website and socials as well, that they've made all of their products catering to Indian weather and Indian hair. And it's so hard to really like your hair. Skin and stuff, it's a little still easier. You can just like wash it if you're not doing a lot of makeup. Or if you're doing makeup, then you do like a micellar water and facial is not something that you do regularly. But what you need regularly is hair. So personally, I feel like they should focus a lot more on hair because that's something that you use every day. Going to office, going to college. If you have multiple plans in a day where you're like going out with one friend, then you're going on a date, then you're going for networking. So when you're again running around, I feel like hair products definitely are a day-to-day life thing. The facials and stuff, like the skin stuff, is maybe like once in a month. If you're doing a sleepover, or if you want to do a self-care night and you put on some candles, like I feel like that's why once in a while. I think it's more for aesthetics, but the hair products are more for like actually would be integrated into day-to-day life. Where would you use it?
See, my opinion is also quite similar. Like, I preferably would not go for the splash, the facial in a splash product of it, because when we came across of it, I thought it's like a proper facial, but then it turns out to be just a cleanser. So right now at this point of time, because when we also do a lot of skincare, we have like a minimum 3 to 4 step skincare. Like if you need to do like a face wash, you have the serum, you have the moisturizer, and then the sunscreen. But this is claiming for it to be like it's replacing a 7 to 8 care step, which is a facial, where you try to pamper yourself. Like when we are going for a facial, it's like a pamper session where you want to go for like a proper exfoliator, you have the steam, you have the massage. So when I would not prefer to do like a one-step routine for it. So I feel the problem here is a little bit of the positioning, that either you can compete with a skincare routine than a facial.
Yeah.
Because just claiming, because it's very hard for me to get convinced to buy the product that in a way that it's gonna replace a facial.
Yeah.
Because facial has a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Just a cleanser is not gonna compete with just a, because they are claiming that once you have the face wash done, like once you do the facial and a splash, you can just use your sunscreen and go ahead. But it doesn't convince me that, because I do like to do facial. Like even if you're doing a facial at home as well, like we do have the scrub, we have the cleanup, and then we go for like a face mask.
Yeah.
So that feels like a good session and you're giving like a glow. But if it is just gonna be like a face wash, it's not gonna be convincing for me as a customer to even buy that in the first place. Even though you're claiming it's gonna replace your 11 products, it doesn't convince me. But yes, the buyback Bluta, definitely I would give it a try, because if it's claiming that you don't have the time to do the 15 minutes blow dry and everything, and then you want to try it out, it claims that does go against the leave-in conditioner and reduces the frizz and everything. So I would give it a try. One more product they have which we didn't come across it was the shower in a second. Shower in a second is basically claiming that you can, like, it's product for utility again, like claiming for utility in the part that people who go for sports, after sports, it can just be a better product than a perfume or a deodorant to cover up the odor. Second is, they have a very fancy ad running where I talk about in the ads part of it.
I did see the creatives.
I have seen
the blue
that,
box.
the blue box.
Yeah.
And the third claiming is like when you want to skip a quick shower, so that product is gonna be like a replacement. So it, again, that product also I would like to give it a try, because I would like to relate to it, like after sports are running you can give it a try, not like to skip shower. But the point being that these are all products are running around the fact of utility and to skipping a lot of steps in between. So these two products do fit in my utility aspects of it, but the facial and the splash, facial and the flash aspect, I'm not getting convinced with it. So other two products I would give it a heads up to buy and to give it a try, the utility part of it, but not the other.
I'm just really geeked out by the shower thing, because I feel like there's already so many people out there, who will like purposely skip showers, and like honestly I feel like teenage boys and even young adults don't need another excuse to not shower.
take a shower.
They already don't smell good most of the time, and now there's this also. Plus most people in India they don't really take care of hygiene or like deodorants or perfumes, and I feel like these kind of products should not be introduced to society where people already need to be more hygienic. Like how, first of all, right now the fact that it's so hot, thankfully because of that, people are showering more, which is so important, right? Like Brazil has this culture where they shower 3 to 4 times a day, and that's like the norm. Like even if people are like, okay, I want to go out for like a quick coffee, and everything's like, okay, I'm going to take a shower. And then they come back and then, okay, now I'm going to eat lunch, or I'm going to take a quick shower. So, I feel like India should have these kind of, products that help with this culture than to go against it, We don't need more sweaty kids in tuition classes or schools or offices, guys. Like, we sit in hot offices in AC buildings.
Yeah, but I think like for that part itself, like people who sweat a lot, like I am a right person who sweats a lot. So for them, like if I am, like, for example, after playing a game of badminton or running after that,
sure.
If I'm entering a restroom, I will feel uncomfortable. But they are claiming for those situations, it's gonna cover up the odor.
Then why don't they just call it an antiperspirant?
But then they just want to give it like an angle, because see, they have done a lot of game and kind of put a lot of brain to the name in the product as well. Like if you see the Bye Bye Blow Dry, it calls out easily that it's calling out the blow dry, you don't have to blow dry.
Yeah.
Facial in a flash, even though it's competing with the facial, it's like you don't need a facial.
Yeah.
And then again, this one is like shower in seconds. So the third angle, I will come to the ads part of it, which might convince you. So let me see. But these two are the one of, like, I have seen a lot of their ads. So these three ads came across. Third one I'll mention in the add-on. But these two is one like the girl is playing a sport, and after the sport she uses it. And then one guy is using it in the normal like a routine when he skips the bath. That's what you're not convinced with. But maybe the third one might convince you.
Okay,
So let's see.
We'll see. We'll see if by the end of this episode you can convince me to
Take
change
the
my
shower
mind.
on seconds.
I will never. I will never, but I will try the product. Just for resumes,
Yeah.
I will try it.
Done. Done.
Okay. So I did take a look at the website, and what I liked about the website was that first there was a lot of clarity. Like
Yes.
it didn't, have like too many pop-ups. It didn't have too much going on here, there, whatever. It was very clear. ये है site, ये है product, ये है offer. ले लो. Okay, that's it. It was very nice and very clear like that. They have a header with Shark Tank and
Yes.
everything. So that's good for like brand recall. There's a lot of before and after images for the products, which is good for credibility. I really like that because it will make things more believable. They also have a lot of UGC stuff going on the site and the social media. And on the site also there's like a lot of these sliding tabs with so much UGC happening, which makes it easier for the consumer to know how to use the product. Like I don't really know for sure like
How to use this
how to
one.
use it. Do I have to pay this
Yes.
before, after, when? So it's good that they're providing a lot of direction, like visual direction to the products. So that's about it for the site. There's not a lot else that I observed. Did you see anything else in the site?
So one thing which I really liked about the site, so what we always mention is there's a lot of brand consistency, like the fonts, the colors, they are made very consistent throughout the website as well.
Yeah.
They have made sure to convince the people on the product pages as well. Like they have given a lot of reviews. They have given how to use it. They have given a section where they have the reels part of it, where you can connect it on Instagram as well. And whatever UGC content is there is showing across a lot. So that helps to convince the people a lot. And yeah, so it's a lot of consistency which they have maintained. It's a very clear-cut brand over there. One more thing which I liked on the website, which they are doing in the overall marketing, is that they have made a combos. Like, for example, they have given it a name for a glow duo, where they have paired up this one and this one together.
Oh.
And the other 2-3 products also, so they have recently come up with the dry shampoo aspect of it as well. And they have the shower in seconds, and they have another option, another product, which is a lip filler. So again, that lip filler is trying to cut down on 2-3 lip products of yours, which is a lip balm, lip moisturizer, and a lip gloss.
plumping device.
Yeah, so that's like a lip filler which is gonna cut down. It also has sunscreen in it, like SPF 15. So again, all the products are coming down to again the utility factor of it. So trying to cut it down, and then they have worked on a combo section as well, which is good. Like if you're trying to gift someone, again it's gonna be a good option to give one of your friends, like a combo or something, which will help you to directly go on the site and to have it systematic instead of you pairing up the products.
Wow.
So that's one good section over there.
Capitalism has come like full circle.
Full, yeah.
First we went from using just one product like moisturizer,
True.
sunscreen and face wash to then going to like 8-9 step routine, which
Yeah.
was like heavily marketed
Heavily
to us for
marketed.
years. And now brands are coming back to
to
like,
0-1.
This is
This is like they are just trying to see what's gonna work, because I think our previous episode also was with the fact of convenience, right?
Yeah.
And now this also, like they're just trying to reduce, because people have become so obsessed with skincare. Like there's a 38 step Korean skincare routine, which I'm not even that aware of, and people are doing it. So I'm just minimal to like 3 to 4 products of mine, which is more than enough for my skin. I'm good with it.
I feel like after having a 38 skincare routine,
swear.
like people's banks will need a lot more like care than
People are investing a lot in
insane amount of. And so, who has the time?
I swear, like you need to have a lot of time to invest that much time into a 5-step or 7-step skin routine as
Yeah,
well.
it's like a part-time job at this point, and there's nobody I know who gets up and does their skincare routine every day. Like it's a blessing if we end up doing moisturizer, sunscreen,
Yeah,
face
that's more
wash.
than
That's a
enough.
daily thing.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person who does more than 5 products every day. So it makes sense that now there's brands like Antinorm coming in because nobody wants to sit and do like this serum, that, this, that. It's just too much. It's exhausting and it takes so much mental load on it. So I think it's a very interesting part of the market that Antinorm has taken. You know, it's a very small segment, but they found a problem that we didn't know we had. It was just a small irritation, but they like found it.
Especially for the hair, like it's a total, like if this product works, like it's gonna be like a travel friendly product with me every time I go, because we do have a lot of fizz, and if you're going like with places, so it's like a whole Monica hair coming out of it.
It's literally Monica hair.
I swear. So go for it. Let's see how it is going to be. It's gonna be.
Because I have so many layers of color in my hair, I've forgotten.
Take it in your hand, pop it a few.
It's
It's gonna. Let's see if it controls your fizz. We do like a before and after for this.
Okay, I'm doing only on one side of my hair,
Yeah,
so
do
we
on
can
this
really
side.
see.
A little on the top. Is it making it a bit easy?
It's like wet.
Wet.
I feel
Maybe it'll take some time. I think there's some time for it to work.
let's see.
You have to brush it also. It's clean.
I just
And you
brushed
do have curly and straight hair. Little
it.
bit.
I have curly.
No, not curly.
Yeah. I just brushed it. No brush it.
It smells nice.
It smells
It
nice.
smells nice. I can smell it till here.
It's like
How is this?
that smells zesty. It's like a
Yeah.
very lemon, you know.
It looks so like
It reminds me of the lemon tart you get. You have to keep pressing it.
Fine, we do this thing. It's fine. It's not just coming out. It's fine.
Time utility.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the socials again, I noticed that there weren't a lot of followers for the page. First of all, I noticed that it was just 20k, and then I went and checked and I realized that they're doing a lot of organic stuff. There's not a lot of ads that they're running, which is to get people to the page. I think they're doing a lot more ads
For sales, yeah.
Sales. I think like you can elaborate a lot more on that. Because for socials, I noticed that usually a brand like that tends to have a lot more followers. So I think they're building it slowly and like a lot more organically. I did also notice that they have again lots of UGC stuff out there. A lot of product images. You can see that they've put a lot of effort into product shoots,
Yes.
which is like a lot of the page. And I think there was only one image I saw with like a man with the shower wala, product. And then another thing that I noticed for the socials was that you can tell that this brand targets a very specific demographic. First is Indians, because again it's built for Indian weather. And second, the demographic is a little more upper middle class and higher,
Yes.
because people that are kind of in just survival mode are not going to opt for a brand like this. Whereas there's a lot of other brands that have come on to Shark Tank and other brands you've covered on this channel itself that are catering to all demographics. But this is very specifically segmented towards people that have a certain amount of income. What did you notice on the socials?
The socials part, yes, their content, as you said, like they are still growing. They're focusing more on the organic part of it. One thing I really liked about their content, how it is going, and that's one thing which attracted for our ads part of it as well, was it's very founder driven. Like her face is there throughout the website and it's there across on social media page as well, because she is giving her own experience and she's telling her thought process behind it. Because right now, as we have mentioned a lot of times on this channel as well, that content right now has changed the game a lot. Like you are not able to convince the people just with a good photography and a good shoot that you have to buy this product. If you're able to convince them with the storytelling and the thought process, like why you came up with the product, it's going to help you convince the audience much more. Because in this one, she directly came out straight on Shark Tank and told that I want to reduce the 7-8 steps and give it like one utility product for it. So that is very convincing, and that's what convinces people to okay, if she's put a thought behind it, maybe the product will work for us, even though it might not work. We don't know that secondly after you buy it. but if he's putting a thought, like you as a customer want to give it a try to buy. So she is there across the entire channel. She is there in a lot of ads as well on the website as well, and that's one thing which is kind of convinced us to do the Reserve Miss as well, because she was there out there, so we had to give it a try. Because I think that when the content is driven by the founder, it is a one step notch, where you're able to get convinced much more easily than just the UGC content or just like a basic photography. Because if the basic photography would have been done, we will not be able to understand what exactly it is, because it looks very similar to any other skincare. But when the founder comes and tells you, okay, she was here, she came up with this thought and she had this thought process, it's much more convincing. So I think that's one thing. And yeah, the followers are very less right now. I think the brand is quite new out there and they're still investing. But I think it's a very good strategy to let it lead with your founder and then pick up the other lifestyles and lifestyle content later.
I agree. It's so much easier to trust the brand, when you can see that the founder is someone who would actually use this product.
Yes.
It's not like one of those big corporations
Yeah.
where, the brand is for women but it's run by all men.
Yeah, and you're not even seen using it. Because if you believe in what you're selling and what you've made, then it gives a confidence, okay, you can test it
Yeah.
out at least. Like you can
Absolutely.
give it a try as well.
Yes.
That's one thing I focused on, the content part. They can do better with the content, but one of the things
I think,
factors
I
is
definitely think it's still in the
Growing
growing stage.
stage, yeah.
Let's see how that goes. And I think that brings us to our next section, which is performance and growth. So you took a look at their strategy. What did you think overall for their ad strategy?
So for overall ads, I have noticed like it's running really well with the UGC content, because for every product they have taken up different angles to showcase utility of it and how the product can be used in a day-to-day life. Because their main product being like you want to cut out the steps and everything, so they have shown different angles. Like for facial in a flash also they have given a different aspect, like it's gonna fit in the fact that you need to do a facial in a quick time, you need to turn out like you are a mother and then you head to office and then morning shower is done but you don't have time for blow dry. So they have done a lot of content based on that. Then again they have compared it with the kind of ingredients and everything what they have used in a facial and what products are there or ingredients are there in the particular product. So they are able to compare it as well, and they are able to tell us how it can be used in a day-to-day life. So I think it's ad wise they have done a good job. Coming to the one fact I told you, that shower in a second. So they have this ad where they are claiming that it can cover up a lot of people who smoke. So it's a good utility fact for them, that if people are smoking, and they have this one ad going up over there that if you're smoking you can just spray it on your hand and then it covers up the smell. So that's one thing over there. And second is the other two, like if you're playing a lot of sports and everything, it will be a good product to cover up the odor. And third one is like to skip showers, which is that also I'm not convinced with. But the other two can be used because that's one of the ads which started coming to me after the facial in a flash. Like Bye Bye Blow Dry had been their bestsellers earlier, but these two products are currently which they are focusing a lot of heavy money, because they are trying to focus again a different angle what it can be used at, like whether you are using it in an office and you are running late for a meeting, or whether you are in a quick time crunch and you need this one of the products, whether you need a flash, whether you need the Bye Bye Blow Dry or shower in seconds. So again, those products are something which they are working around. So ad wise they are completely running on the top funnel. I don't know how their second level of ads are running or the bottom level of it, because I currently am seeing only top level ads. Like they are just trying to convince the people to try out a product, because these are something products like you need to give it a thought process, and because there's a lot of behavioral gap which is gonna come here, because people who go for facials and everything, it's gonna take some time for them to get convinced to skip a 7-step facial and go to one product which is just a cleanser.
Yeah.
Because people go for like facials and massage and everything. So there's a lot of behavioral gap there. So that is something which they have to do on the second level or the bottom level of it. But currently all of the ads are top funnel and mostly 90% focused on UGC, which is a good deal right now because that's what is working in the market. So I would give it a heads up for that part. So I think
Nice.
it's good.
Nice. I think they're focusing a lot more on brand awareness, so that at least, because it's such a new concept, you know,
Yeah.
people have to understand the concept, which explains why I think they're doing so much more top funnel activity.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're moving on to our favorite section, which is our sauce. Okay, do you want to start?
Okay, great. So coming to the part what I would do if I was working with this particular brand, there are two options what I would do. One is basically I would like to, with this particular product especially, which is facial in a flash aspect of it, I would like to add another product to it which gives it like a step, because just a cleanser I don't think it's convincing for it to be like a facial in a flash. So either one way to go about it is like you make another product out of it and then claim it to be like a facial in a flash, because facial has much more steps than just a cleanser, because cleanser is just the minimal part of any skincare routine or anything on that end. So if another product can get added to fit in that particular set is something I would like to add up over there. Apart just on the marketing side of it, I would, keeping these the other product, I would like to keep it the same, like with the buy back blow dry, and focus more on the UGC kind of content of it. But facial in a flash, I would like to rename the brand. Like I would like to rename the name of it, because I feel facial in a flash is not able to compete with the salons. It's like a completely no gamer there, because salons you can't compete with the same name, because facial has a lot more convincing and lot more things which you have been doing. Because I think this one product which is just a cleanser is not gonna convince anyone to buy it the second time, because you are actually just competing with the face wash or a cleanser. Because right now people do have two-step cleansing, like double cleansing going on as well. That is something which you can compete with. So if I have to work and add my sauce to it, I would like to rename that particular product to like a skincare reset or like a reset routine, and then try to claim it about what it's actually claiming it right now. Because the name is gonna play a lot of game into convincing, because it was like a completely a turn off for me when I went on the landing page and I saw that it's just a face wash, like, or just like a cleanser, because I am not able to get convinced. But the product has a lot of potential. So on the main game, if it has a lot of potential, you need to educate your people a lot about it. Like I will need a lot of content over there which shows how the product works, the before and after about it. Like they are doing it, I'm not saying no, but it's still not convincing enough. So either you need to change the name of it, like just name it like a skincare reset about how you're claiming it to be, and then have a lot of before and after, educate people about how your products are actually working, and then work around the whole content. While the buy back blow dry, the shower in seconds is, I think, is running really well. Keeping those at the front end, because one thing which is happening in the facial in a flash is the price point as well. Like it's claiming to be at 1199, which is thrice or 4x the time what a normal face wash is, and it's half the time of a facial. But facial, that kit gives you a lot of products, like it gives you an exfoliator, it gives you a scrub, it gives a pack as well. So it is not helping me convince as well. So if you either add up another product to claim it to be, or second is you reset the whole game, change the name, and then you do the marketing around it with a lot of UGC content. So that's something which I would like to add to the list.
That makes so much sense actually. And I also have a couple of points about the brand identity not being very clear, because it's a little confusing, you know. If you notice, the brand's ideology is about disruption and minimalism, right? Reducing things. But if you look at the visual identity, it's very maximalist. So I feel like, you know, it clashes over there. Like if you're looking for something that's trying to reduce steps, then you go with something that's a little more of a minimal kind of, you know, brand identity.
True.
Like minimalist or ordinary, and you know, those kind of like, clinical kind of brand identity. Option 2 would be going with disruption, which is about, you know, we're doing something very different. Then you again go with like really janky designs and stuff like that. But there also it's like they want to do that, but they're not really doing that. You know, it's like I'm a little confused as a branding person. And the third is then to go like all out maximalist, which I think would be a very fun direction to provide. You know, a lot of brands don't do that. People are so scared to nowadays use color. But I think if they're already using so much color, I think they should really embrace it. And start to go all in with like, you know, just really big marketing, really bright colors, a lot of usage of like, even the logo, right? It's such a basic logo. It can really, really be changed and add something that's a little more specific, more visual, make it more colorful. That's something I would want to change about the brand. Second thing I would do is a lot of skincare brands right now, even if you see like Rhode and stuff like that, that's really trending, right? They're doing a lot of sensory branding using food. there's so much economic research around it actually. And there's a fun fact about it that people start using food in marketing usually when there's times of recession, because food starts to become a luxury. And using skincare with foods into like the imagery and stuff starts to feel like, oh, I'm giving myself a luxurious experience in the middle of economic crisis. So this is something that's been a pattern over the years, and a lot of brands are obviously piling onto that right now because we are sort of heading towards, you know, in the middle of World War and there's recessions coming and stuff like that. So I feel like this brand would be a perfect example for someone who should use sensory branding, especially because like this could be paired with like lemons because it smells like lemons, you know. This would be again towards like plums and cranberries and some grapes, anything that's actually relatable to even just fruits that people use to put in their hair. Like people do so many like curd masks and they put fruits in the hair and stuff like that. So that's something I would definitely do, at least like one campaign around it. The third thing I would do is, in all of the UGC, I see very less men. And I think that's a demographic that could be targeted, especially if they really are going with this whole shower in a bottle thing. Then men should be targeted more. I'm throwing all the shade out there. Like I'm not even trying to hide my shade. Put it all on. It's right there. Go for it. The next is, I would like to associate a cause with the brand, because this brand is again catering to a very specific economic bracket. So it's important to associate a cause with it. So it could either be where they're trying to add like a feminist angle. They could either add maybe like a pro-LGBT angle, would be great to go with the transgender bill and stuff that's going on right now. Or they could do what most skincare brands do and associate sustainability to it. But there needs to be some sort of a cause, because I feel like that part is missing. You know, I need to feel that connection because it brings a humanizing angle, and that humanizing angle could really build more community. There's not a lot of community associated with that. And obviously the last thing that I would like to do is, I would mostly do like a video series with hair and skincare experts, and then talk to them about what are the problems that Indians face, you know, because there are so many different Indian skin types, you know, especially across the geography, right? And even hair types, we don't get to really name our hair types, because since childhood we're just told like baby oil karo, braid mein dalo, rakh do. No, we don't really know our hair types until we're in our like late teens, early 20s, when we realize, oh, I have curly hair. It's not just frizzy. It was just kept frizzy my whole life, you know. So maybe a video series on stuff like that, where they could destigmatize issues with Indian skin and Indian hair. That would do really well. So those are the things that I would do for my sauce.
Yeah, that's quite insightful. Like trying a lot of adding to the existing content as well. And because one thing I feel the brand is missing a lot is, one is mostly the convincing, and second is the relatability factor of it. Like right now we have so many brands that we're able to relate to them because we know it's already working. But when you're trying to break a norm, as the name suggests, you have to give them something which is gonna be a no-brainer for them in the first buy. Like if you're telling me this is gonna cut down on the frizz, I might as well invest into it. Or if it goes for like a shower in seconds or after sports, yes. But my head is not moving from the fact that in a facial, in a flash part of it, just a cleanser is not gonna convince you. So I think if it gets more relatable, or you add something more just to like it's gonna get you a moisture or a glow from it, it can become convincing. But yes, I just can't move.
I love how that product triggered you and the shower product triggered me. Like we're both so triggered.
It's like so against it. Like I will not buy it. Like I would not. Like I really love facials, and I would not skip it. Like even though we're doing a facial at home, I want that 5-step routine.
Okay, so
like,
I will keep this one.
I will keep the 5-man blow dry. I will keep the 5-man blow dry.
The episode is still continuing. I take it after the episode and I'll take it after. So let's move on to the last section, which is our favorite section.
Raise or miss.
Raise or miss. Okay, let's start. First, product packaging.
I would give it a risk.
I love how much color they're using.
Yes.
Brands need to do more colors.
Yeah.
Media needs to do more color. Everywhere, let's add more color. Second is, let's talk about brand identity
And positioning.
Yeah.
So I think for that I would give it a miss.
I think I'll give it a risk because they have a good foundation. I think they just need to position it.
Position well, because
Yeah.
that's one thing, like brand identity. I would give it like a risk with the packaging and everything, but just the positioning of it, I would need much more convincing.
Fair.
And you need to educate. If you're claiming it's gonna get you all the glow and
Yeah.
glory, you need to convince your audience more, and you need to be very specific about who you're actually competing with. You're competing with a salon, or you're competing with a skincare routine which people do at home. Those
Yeah.
are two different things. If you're able to position and bridge the gap between the two, then I think your positioning is solid.
Yeah. Okay. Next is social media.
I think social media, they can do better, so I think we'll give it a miss.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss as well. I think there's a lot more that can be done.
More they can do, because you have so much funding coming in, you need to give a lot of strategy into your content.
Yeah. Okay. And the last is performance and ads.
Performance and ads, I would give it a miss. Yeah, because I am convinced with the fact that you guys are doing a lot of UGC content, giving us different angles. So I think I would give it a risk on that part of it.
I think I would give it a miss because in the ads that I was shown, it just wasn't very clear. Like I wasn't really sure what this product
Yeah.
is. You know, it just felt like just another skincare brand. And so I think I would personally like to see a little more scroll stopping. Oh my god, my notes are flying. Scroll stopping content. Okay, true.
I think it's 2 versus 2. We have come
It's 2v2.
2v2 for the first time. It's not an
Yeah.
overall risk.
It's not a miss either. It's a fun brand.
It's a fun brand. It can do better.
Yeah.
Like you can cover up, and this is our opinions. Don't take any other thing.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Guys, all skincare brands, please send us your stuff. As you
Yeah.
see, we love using this, and honestly,
merch as well.
every time we give criticism towards a brand, we are also acknowledging that the founders and the teams have put a lot of hard work behind it. D2C is an insane market to be in, and it takes a lot of guts to just even think of
Test out,
entering
yeah.
it. Yeah. So we love the founders, we love the brands. We're just giving constructive criticism
Yeah.
because
it's something which we feel, and if we were there, it's something we would add up to. So
yeah.
it's nothing
And
to
also,
take
we
apart.
want brand deals. So, you know, if you really want us to say really nice things about your brands, you know, send us a check, add a couple of zeros, and we can talk about it.
Are we cutting this out?
We are not cutting this out because I'm very,
Very much sure
very
about it.
honestly saying what I want.
Yeah, we are very much true. Like we really like, we are giving a constructive feedback. But it's something which we feel from her perspective. Like we are two different individuals as well.
Yeah.
That's what we take. Like she didn't like something, I didn't like something. But that's something which you can add up in your marketing strategy and product wise as well. Because that's what your customers are. Because we are your ideal customers.
Yeah.
No matter what. So that's
Yeah.
what we feel. It's not an overall risk, but it's a very fun brand. We would like to try it out.
Yeah.
And we will give a feedback.
I'm
about it
excited
as
to
well.
try. I did try it. It feels nice.
It
I
is
like-
given a little bit shine, definitely.
Yeah, I like the way that it feels. It's not.
And the smell is nice. Like even the
Yeah.
lemony one, even though it didn't come across,
Next
it
time
did
I
smell
have to
nice.
go, I'm going to go like, you know, get one of those Om Shanti Om situations happening where like my pallu is stuck in someone's kada or
Kada.
something, and then I turn around with my hair like that. This is the product.
This is the
I'm looking
product,
at.
guys. It's anti-norm. Breaking the norms.
Okay, and we'll see you in the next
Next episode.
episode.
See you soon. Bye bye.